I'm sure you know this whole crisis began with the collapse of what they call the subprime market in America. That was those dodgy mortgages which American bankers lent to people who couldn't afford them. Then we had the rescue package, £385 billion rescue package, supposed to prop up the American economy. And amazingly, last night, American politicians rejected that, leading us to think, well, what happens now? Let's join former Wall Street trader Ryan Mack from the United States, from New York, in fact. Ryan, could you just kick off by explaining to British people who are bemused by this, why American politicians rejected this package?
Well, I'll tell you what, 777 is a number today that every 401k owner, every individual retirement account owner, and everybody who has money in the stock market understands, because it's 777 is a number that Dow was down when they did reject this package. Why they rejected it, I think it might have been a little bit politics behind it, but I tell you, they rejected a $700 billion package in order to lose $1.2 trillion in the market. That's $3 billion per minute that the market lost over 6.5 hour span. $1.2 trillion. It's a crazy amount of money, and I really wish it would have passed, and hopefully we can get something resolved soon.
Was it in their minds that if they accepted this package, they'd be sort of introducing socialism to the United States? They'd be getting the government to bail out commercial organizations, which is not your way, and they didn't want to do that with just a few weeks to go to the American elections?
Well, I'll tell you what, this is really not a bailout of Wall Street. This is really an assistance of Main Street. You know, I really am really fearful of the effect of that one individual who wants to go and start a business and he can't get a loan now. That individual who wants to purchase a home and he can't get a loan now. I mean, lending standards are high now, but now the credit markets are essentially going to be frozen because now we have all these bad assets on our banks that we have to get rid of. And this was not a bailout of Wall Street. I don't really feel this as a socialistic move. This was really a move to just try to keep the economy flowing so we can continue to do business in a normal American way.
But as we all now know, it failed despite all the overtures of President Bush. He's going to address the nation at lunchtime UK time today. What are his options, and do you think they'll listen to him this time?
Well, I'll tell you, they really came out very hard in terms of the Republicans. I really don't know what else they can really do to make the bill different. I do know that they had at least 12 individuals who were kind of on the fence in terms of whether or not they're going to vote for the bill or not. So hopefully those 12 individuals can now come off of the fence and maybe vote for this legislation to pass. But I do think maybe if we can just be a little bit more bipartisan in terms of how we just talk to one another and just make sure that we continue to look at the bigger picture, this will go past, and we'll be able to get past this as any other American or financial crisis that we've faced before. And if we don't do it, it might be the biggest financial crisis since the Great Depression, if it isn't already.
OK, Ryan, thanks very much to you for being with us. Let me just point out to people at home that very little is going to happen in the next 24 hours because in America there's a Jewish holiday tomorrow, so nothing coming out of the United States in terms of any kind of resolve for the next 24 hours. Penny.